What's up, everybody? Welcome to One Day Today on Tuesday, April 28th. So glad to have you join us. This is our second full week, and we are going strong. We have three amazing guests who are going to share. I just want to acknowledge all of you for hanging out with us and being the space for us to share and to contribute and to lift each other up in these uncertain times. And I'm really excited about all the guests here today. I'd like to introduce my co-host here, Matthew. There he is.
What's going on, guys?
What's up, Matthew? How are you today?
Oh man, it's been a fun day. I've been out moving and causing all kinds of ruckus and having really deep conversations with Dad, which has been a nice change and quite lovely. And now looking forward to our guests. We have some really exciting ones today. I've heard some amazing stories from them so far.
Absolutely. And I feel like we could just cut right to it because we have some. I'm excited about these shares. So I'm just gonna go straight to Terrilynn, who's going to be joining us. Terrilynn Phillips, thank you so much for joining us. The stage is yours.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. I am so honored to be here. Oh, my goodness. I just want to say we need to hold on because this is such a ride right now. And we've all been through all types of situations and traumas. But I don't know about you, but in my 6 decades, I have never experienced anything like this. I don't know whether to hand sanitize, wash my hands, wear the mask, carry the mask. It's like, do we carry a list and make sure we check it off with each thing? I'm spraying disinfectants on packages coming in the door. It's just scary. You just don't know which way to turn. You get that little tickle in your throat and you just wonder if I'm next. I want to say to you, hold on. Hold on to yourself. Have faith in yourself. Don't lose sight of yourself. Before this crashed down on us, we had goals. We had focus. We were doing it. We were living our lives, loving our families. So now the change is you learn how to be safer for you and for your family, your loved ones, your friends. But you also get a chance to get closer to your family, get closer to your friends. You get to get closer to your business, your career path. You get to question, and actually hear yourself answer. Because before there were so many distractions, so much mental chaos that we didn't know we were coming or going. We were in a rut, or we're trying to figure out which CMR to use, which email marketing to use, which software to use, which computer to use, which phone to use, Now you get to sit still. You get to be with you. You get to learn life. And while you're doing that, think back on all the wonderful things that have happened in your life because you are responsible for your own happiness. You right now are the person that has to feed yourself your happiness. So never, never, never give up on yourself. Hold on to yourself. Learn yourself and stop the mental chaos. I keep saying chaos. Chaos is my word. Chaos is my word. So is fortitude. And they kind of go hand in hand because you have to have fortitude in order to manage the chaos. It's an ongoing task. Like you're in a room and it's nice and quiet. You're just moving along, and all of a sudden, a group comes through the door. It might be your kids with your kids' friends. It might be your family. That moment they call the quiet before the storm. But now that you are in the storm, You can actually create your own quiet. Isn't that wonderful? Your own peace. You can turn off your phone, you can turn off your computer, and you can turn off the television because we never know what instructions we're going to get next. But we can get our messages. Our messages come from us. Our messages come from us. Our messages come from us. You are so important and valuable right now. And you may be thinking, oh my goodness, I should have been better prepared for this. Why didn't I listen to myself when I shoulda, woulda, coulda? But you didn't. So it's past. Just past. Now what you can do is say, I am. I am doing the best that I can. I am bringing the best that I can. I'm making the best decisions that I can. I'm using the best resources I can. I am the greatest that I can be right here, right now, because, you know, and I don't want you to question this. And I want you to say this to you over and over again. I am enough. I'm great right here, right now. Who I am today is good enough. It's excellent. It's my perfection. We are our own perfection. Tell people all the time, stop trying to be like someone else. Stop trying to copy other people. When you go outside and you pick up 3 leaves, 4 leaves, 100 leaves, and look at them, no two are the same. If the seasons are the same, if the plants don't grow the same, why would you think that you are supposed to be like anyone else? So be your own unique, authentic self. Be you. And don't let anyone try to change you to meet their needs because they are responsible for their happiness. Let's see. I have so much in my head to tell you all the time. But one of the greatest messages I know is success with fortitude. I live by success with fortitude. Let me tell you why. When I was in high school, my last year of high school, I thought I was doing great. I only had to take 2 classes, but they told me I had to get a job in order to do that. So I told them I'd be right back. So yes, before school day was out, I went and got a job. I came back and I enrolled in my 2 classes. Yeah, I'm pretty smart. I'm gonna go to school in the morning, go to class, and then I'm gonna go to college. I'm gonna start my college early. And I did. And I was successful. And I passed all my classes. I did great on my job. I fell in love in December. And I had a baby by the next September. That was one of the most wonderful, wonderful, wonderful presents of my whole entire life, even still today. And yes, we've been through trauma, it hasn't been perfect. But this is what happened. 1 year in high school, graduating as a senior, doing well, smart, to the very next year, around the exact same time, homeless and hungry with a newborn baby. Who am I? What did I do? I had to gain fortitude because I now had a baby. And I had promised my baby that he was going to have the best of everything. I loved him. My heart's desire. But that was like my first, largest, biggest challenge in my life. And I was 19. 19. I had to gain fortitude at that moment. And yes, we have to gain fortitude right now. But I had another trauma in my life. And I know you all have had your trauma, so you can feel me on this, right? When I suddenly lost my husband and I was left with taking care of my children and my household on my own. If any of you all understand what it's like to go from a family, a complete family, you are a stay-at-home mom, you are taking care of your family, you are loving your family is doing great. So all of a sudden, you're a single parent? Again? I had to gain that fortitude. And in gaining that fortitude, I had to have the courage to be confident and to move forward. I couldn't waddle in that. And here we are today in a situation where not only are they giving us challenges, but they're giving us enough time to waddle in it. Don't stop. Don't question what is going on. Get it together. Move forward. Make very, very, very smart decisions because you know, and you've heard it over and over again. If you're on social media, you know the decisions that you make today will impact your complete community tomorrow. So yes, get that checklist out. Wash my hands for 20 seconds. Gloves, hand sanitizer, mask, social distancing. And you know you've had a list much longer than that. If you've ever raised a family, if you've ever been a part of a family, if you've ever gone to school, yes, you've had a list much larger than that. So I say to you, success with fortitude, manage the mental chaos. And lastly, have confidence. Be great because you really are enough right now, right here, right today. Thank you so much for this opportunity to speak to you. Have a great day and be safe.
Thank you so much, Terrilynn. Thank you for sharing. That was awesome. That was great. I think when I hear you speak and hear you share, I hear a lot of strength and perseverance in the face of adversity. And I want to ask, where do you see the source of that inner strength is for yourself?
Experience in love. If you've ever had your heart broken and had to move forward, you've had to gain strength. With every adversity that you have to gain strength to go through it. What we sometimes miss is the lessons that we were supposed to learn. And we don't evaluate ourselves for the strength that we gained. So yeah, all of the challenges that I've had in life, I've got 4 degrees. I'm getting ready to start my doctorate degree on Thursday. And so with each degree, I've had to tell myself to move forward because it's all a challenge. Just like today, it's all a challenge. I mean, even you all doing this to bring the message and the inspiration to our family and our friends, I'm sure you all have faced challenges. And I thank you for moving forward in the challenges and bringing this platform to us.
Oh, I really appreciate that. And the word you said was that really stands out and it kind of sums it up for me. It's facing the chaos. Like chaos, a lot of time we associate chaos as a bad thing, and chaos is the source of how you find order. You know, it's like we don't even know things aren't working until we have chaos, and then that gives us an opportunity.
Yes, my podcast, which is soon to be published, is called Chaos, and it means creating habits and outstanding success. Yes, chaos.
That's awesome.
There was something that stood out just in the kind of general theme of what you were sharing. And the way I saw it, and correct me if I'm missing something here, but the way I saw it was you're making the choice to have fortitude every single time. And I feel like that has been something that's been really helpful in my life to realize that it's everything that happens or everything that I choose to do is a choice. It's a decision that I can make. Even staying here and breathing right now in this body, in this room, on this virtual stage, it's a choice. I have the power to end my own life if I really want to, but I'm not. And so since I'm choosing to be here, might as well make the best of it. Might as well have that fortitude. Might as well live a full life. Might as well jump in and take these challenges. Might as well, go out and get crazy sometimes. Because why not, right? Exactly.
You're so right, Matthew. I love it. Yes, you're so right. That's the way you have to either live it or don't.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I appreciated that. Thank you.
Yeah, there's a lot of power. There's a lot of power in living by choice as opposed to by chance. Like that's where magic happens. That's where where we can. It's not, life doesn't happen to us. We happen to life, and it's a beautiful thing. It's I've been on both sides of it, and it's very deflating to live by chance and circumstance, and I'm a victim. Like, oh, poor me. This is so difficult, and then it's like, wait, I'm choosing to live, and this is what I'm committed to. This is what I stand for. This is what I choose, despite all my emotions, despite all the things happening outside me. And like, there's a lot of power that it's almost counterintuitive to stand in the choice, but it's really where our power lies. And I really appreciate your sharing and your fortitude. I just hear so much strength and compassion in your sharing, and I really appreciate you're taking the time to share with us and share with us all. So we really appreciate you, Terrilynn.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Absolutely. We have just a little bit of time, but I was wondering if, just really quickly, you could maybe give us a moment when you realized you actually had that choice. Like, when did you realize that it was a choice that you could make and you started making it for yourself?
Actually, I didn't start making it for myself. I started making it for my children.
Mm-hmm.
When I could not find $1 for oodles and noodles to feed my babies, it was time to get to work. And after a full depression, a few adult tantrums, and crying my eyes out, I got back up on the horse. And I said, now is the time for me to be the powerhouse that my children can see as an example. So that's when it happened, when I had to take care of my babies. And as I grew older, it dawned on me that that's when it happened.
Yeah, I love that, because it doesn't, like, that to me demonstrates that even if we're not making the choice for us at first, even if it's for someone else, just making that choice brings it back around every single time we make it. So yeah, thank you for that. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Very welcome. It's definitely a pleasure.
Thank you so much,
I can see how people are really going to be uplifted and moved on forward instead of thinking backwards, with you all bringing the messages to them. And that's so powerful. And I really appreciate that.
Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing with us. We appreciate you, and very honored to have you.
Thank you.
So up next, well, thank you, Terrilynn, for sharing, and thank you all again for tuning in with us. So we at the One Day Movement, we're just getting started, and if you'd like to share on the stage, or you'd like more information, can go to our website, www.onedaymvmt.org. And, we have opportunities if you'd like to make a contribution, whether you'd like to volunteer your time, your energy, you'd like to share on the stage if you have something to share. And also if you'd like to make a financial contribution to keep this train going, because we're just getting started, and we're so grateful to have you with us and to have our guests sharing. Up next, we're going to have Rich Parsons share with us. Rich, how's it going? Thank you for joining us.
Hey, it's going pretty well. How are you guys doing today?
Doing well. It's a beautiful day, and can't complain.
Awesome. Well, hey, I really appreciate the opportunity to be here today, and as I think about everything that's going on in our life at this current time, one of the things that I keep coming back to in my own personal reflections and coaching and working with others is surrounded around values. And, I think of some times in my life when my values that I grew up with did not always remain as intact, or I didn't follow them the way I needed to. And it created some incongruence with me. And, so I think back on a time in my life. So growing up as a kid, I was a preacher's kid, and I had great memories of everything that went on in my life. I felt pretty blessed, and I knew right from wrong. And I remember being just a normal kid on my uncle's farm in North Carolina, where I would rummage through his Major League Baseball memorabilia and pretend like I was out on the Major League Baseball fields hitting home runs, whereas except where he was hitting them with a bat and balls, I was hitting them with rocks off of one of his autographed bats that I just didn't think of as being important when I was growing up. But so as I transferred my on through the years and went along, my good memories of childhood did did not necessarily transfer along with me as I grew up, because as I got older, I made a decision to join the United States Air Force. And it was when I went through basic training and arrived at my first duty location as I embarked on an amazing 27-year career. I arrived at my first duty location and realized that I wasn't so amazing. It was at that point that my worldview, my view of others, things that I wasn't even really aware was happening in my life started to become very real. So there, just outside of our nation's capital at my first duty assignment, I came to the unfortunate realization that I was a racist. Now, you may ask, just as I did, how could that possibly have happened? Well, you may also ask, what changed? And I can tell you that it was not enough for me to just tolerate people. It wasn't enough for me to just get along with people. I needed to make a change, because had I remained just tolerant, then that would have meant the door was still open for discrimination and uh, bias and prejudice, all the things that created a problem for me in the first place. So I didn't really understand at that point the gravity of my environment and the gravity of the fact that I had strayed away from my values that instilled in me as a child. So I can think of a time when I was in my shop talking with some coworkers that we were joking around about going over to a supervisor's house and crashing a barbecue that he had that weekend. And one of my friends said, that's probably not going to be a good idea. Well, what I didn't realize is that supervisor, he didn't really like white dudes all that much. So at that point, I had the realization and I felt what it was like to be discriminated against. I felt what it was like to not be accepted. So at that point, it was a moment where I needed to do a reset. And what I did is I had to take that awareness that I now had, and I had to take action. And so what I did is basically I had to determine within myself that I was going to live a life that was worthy of what was expected, what I expected of myself. So I had to begin to treat others as they were supposed to be treated. I needed to treat others as though they were human, and reject the negative influences that had come from my environment when I was growing up, and start to interact with everyone. And really, I had to be the master of my transformation. And it was in that moment that I began to cultivate a mindset of acceptance, where everybody was a human, created with a purpose. And I wasn't going to allow my past to rob my future. And if I had not corrected course, had I not got back in touch with my values and allowed myself to do that work that was needed, I would not have had the career that I had. I know for certain that being in the military, you're around all kinds of people. And I cannot have imagined going through my career not accepting other people, not embracing differences, not working to champion diversity. And I know that some of these words are buzzwords nowadays, but they're there for a reason. And that's because when we do not live true to our values, when we do not accept people for who they are as humans created for a purpose, then we're ripping ourselves off. And again, I was not going to allow that to rob my future connections, my relationships. Now, I can say that in my coaching, one of the things I work with people on, and I do this from personal experience, is that I want people to be able to live the best life that they possibly can. So just as I did, a blind spot was uncovered for me. I'm then able to help other people uncover blind spots. Now, I can say that not everybody and not everybody listening will have to overcome racism, but I imagine each and every person has something in their life that they need to change. They need to get back to where they're congruent with their values, or perhaps they need to change a mindset. But we all, and I feel confident saying that, have something that we can change to be a better person. Now, in my situation, I discovered that it takes awareness and action to do so. And I pray that each person out there will discover whatever steps they need to take to be able to live according to their values, live according to what they were intended to be, and not allow their past, not allow those negative things, their environment, to rob the future that stands before them, the path that they are ready to walk on. Because if they do that, I'm not going to be the best version of myself. And that is not what I want for anybody. And I hope that this message resonates with somebody, to where if it's one person that needs to take that journey, that needs to make that transformation, will do so. Because I don't want to see anybody not live out their future the way they were intended. So I appreciate you guys for the opportunity to be here and to share this message with you and your audience. And I look forward to connecting with people, and I look forward to coming back and sharing another message with you guys, because I think this is important. And what you're doing is just amazing, especially now when people need it the most. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much for sharing your story with us, Rich. And I acknowledge the awareness and the courage it took for you to face yourself. What stood out to me is just blind spots. Like, we all have them, and you can't see our blind spots because we can't see what we can't see. Even if we keep turning around, there's still blind spots.
Mm-hmm.
What was it that made you both willing, but also willing to take action to see that, to be like, what made you willing to see that part of yourself that you were blind to?
Yeah, so I think really just being in a culture that, growing up in North Carolina, I mean, there's a lot of negative connotations that could go with that, but I would say everybody from the South isn't a racist. That's something that happens to each individual. But what happened to me was, when I was removed out of that environment, around my friends and around just the people that I was around, and I began to interact with different people, it's like a light bulb came on for me. And while I was in basic training, a lot of it just kind of started to reveal itself. And then as like I mentioned, had the opportunity to feel what it was like to not be accepted for whatever reason, that stood out to me. And it just caused me to start doing some work within myself. And then, I was able to get some other people that kind of helped me along that journey. But it was feeling what others must have felt when I didn't accept them on that level, really just kind of was a switch for me.
Wow. Yeah, it took a lot of, sounds like it took a lot of courage to be able to be willing to see that, because we all are capable of beautiful things, but we're also all capable of evil, terrible things. And a lot of the time, myself included, we don't want to be honest with ourselves about that. We don't even want to think we're capable of being, toxic, or having any tendency that's bad, and don't want to take responsibility. And a lot of the time, our very life is built on a structure to avoid responsibility without us even realizing it. So that's just the fact that you are not only able to face that and to transform that with yourself, but the fact that you're sharing it with other people, that speaks volumes, and it's beautiful. It's just full circle of paying forward, just a true transformation. And I think that's amazing that you're sharing that with us.
Right. Yeah, and it's not just racism. There's so many things that people need to overcome that are impacting and robbing their life.
Yeah, there's this quote. I'm pretty sure it was Oscar Wilde, but I could be off. The line between good and evil runs betwixt all men's hearts. And even Mother Teresa referred to it. She was asked one time, when did you really choose to dedicate your life to servitude? And she said, when I realized there was a Hitler living in me. And, I feel like this is a very, very personal message, and a very potent message, especially for today, with everything that's going on. As Terrilynn said earlier, we actually have been kind of given a chance to put our lives on pause, to put the world on pause, and really reflect and consider what it was that brought us to the brink of this, where we're in this situation where there's this global pandemic and there's so much suffering simply because we have created a system, we have imagined a system that isn't capable of taking care of those who can't take care of themselves. And I feel like this is part of it. This is something that has been brewing in our country since the very beginning, since even before the beginning. This fear of the other person, and not being able to see another as a fellow human being, as seeing them as something less than or different. And it breaks my heart that it's taken this level of suffering to actually bring the conversation as much into the spotlight today as it is. But also at the same time, I'm really grateful that it is happening, that we are having this chance to throw all this out there, expose it so we can actually heal it. And I really appreciate when people come forward and share those personal stories, because that's where I feel the most impact. Like, that's where I feel the most resonance. And I feel like that carries the most weight in the world, is just sharing yourself like that. So thank you. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. And you mentioned the word fear, and really that is ultimately what it comes down to. When we act out like that, it is our fear. It is something within us that is causing us to act that way towards another person for whatever reason. Ultimately, is our own poison, our own junk that's causing that.
Absolutely. And that fear of not being accepted is a big one. And I've experienced it in my life too. I know what you mean. I actually feel like Lucas summed it up really wonderfully through Yoda in Return of the Jedi. Fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to the dark side. And that's it. Like, at the heart of every racist I have ever met, I have seen a scared little man or woman. And that has helped me have compassion for them, because I know that that's really what it's about, that they're really just scared and they don't know how to deal with the world.
Right. And that's where our power lies, is seeing others' fear, others experiencing hate as victims. Obviously people who have fear and hate are capable of harming us, but ultimately they haven't seen or haven't experienced their own blind spot. They haven't, whether they haven't been willing to look or they're just not ready. But what we can do when you people like you, Rich, share your story, it gives them courage to see and to look, and that's why we have this stage. And that's it. We want to give people, we want people to share, because we all have some version of fear, some version of our own, whether it's inadequacies or, that we're trying to make up for something. We're trying to compensate for our own perceived lack. And, it's ultimately, when we succumb and identify with our fears, with our negative emotions, we give space for those, and it kind of takes the wheel, and it's not even us at the wheel. It's just an emotion and a story that we don't even know we're believing, because it's perpetuated by the world, the way we see the world. I really, really appreciate your sharing your story and the courage that, just that you've been through in your journey, and that you've come through, and you've been through so much, but you've come through to share it with us, and we're deeply appreciative of you sharing with us. So I'm really grateful for you to be here with us.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Absolutely, Rich. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you so much, Rich. Thank you again to all you guys watching. We have one more share. I just wanted to point you all, our mission here at One Day. We're bringing you and I and communities together in joyous celebration, unifying humanity in our diversity to create a better world for us all. And that's why we're here. That's why we're sharing this space. We want to give you a chance to connect with us all. Share who you are, bring your community, and ultimately build community with us. That we want to give you a space to be yourself and to contribute to us all, because when we're all better off, we're all better off. And it's kind of crazy how that works. So up next, we got sharing Will Lewis IV, and I'm really excited to have Will here. Will, thank you for joining us.
Hey guys, how's it going? Glad to be here.
We're so happy to have you.
Absolutely, man. I'm excited for you.
Let's go.
All right, Will. Well, the stage is yours.
Awesome. Well, hello everyone. My name is Will Lewis the Fourth, and it is an honor to share with you guys today. Thank you guys for allowing me to enter into your space, enter into your house, your car, wherever you are. I hope you're safe. So listen, today, if I was to title today's conversation, it will be the vision factor. Put in the comments, type it in the comments, vision factor. If somebody's in your living room and they're loud, say shush, 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 because we're about to talk about the vision factor. So listen, what is vision? Vision to me is simply a picture of the future. And so often we find ourselves not being able to go after what we have established as the future because of our current situation. Well, listen, guys, we are clearly in a pandemic. COVID is having its way right now, and many people have lost sight of their vision. And let me just tell you a story. I had this desire to move to Texas, like whoop, whoop, Dallas, here I come. I currently live in Gary, Indiana, land of Michael Jackson, whoop, whoop. But I wanted to move to Dallas. I had this great work opportunity to move to Dallas, work for an amazing company, do these amazing things with this company. I had a tour of the headquarters. Everyone loved me, was ready to go. And then Corona. Corona comes and shuts everything down. The company calls and says, hey, we're gonna have a hiring freeze, so just chill out for a little bit, we'll get back to you. And I'm just like, what happened? And so during COVID-19, before COVID-19, I had this vision board, move to Dallas. I created this vision board. It's been on my wall. And every day I get up, I would look at the vision board. I would speak affirmations. I would do all these wonderful things. And then a few weeks ago, the vision board fell to the floor. And right on next to my nightstand, it fell down. And I was just like, forget it, just stay down there. And it literally stayed down there until yesterday. What caused me to pick that thing back up? This is what happened. You ready? Rub your hands together. Come in, get close to the camera. What happened was I had to remember the why. Why did you start this vision board? Why did you get started with this? Why did you want to go to Dallas? Why did you want to do all these wonderful things on your vision board? Now, granted, I'm still doing the meditations every day. I'm still, we're going to get to that other part on the vision board in a second. I'm still doing the meditations every day. I'm still like devoting myself to drink more water every day, eating clean, all the things that we do for our New Year's resolution. Got it. So the vision board fell, and I had to remember, why did I start in the first place? Why did I engage? And so once you discover your why, you are able to continue your pursuit. And many people, your why was never strong enough. That's why you given up on your dream. And so I picked this vision board back up, and now I'm ready to go. I'm ready to continue to pursue. I'm ready to continue to move forward. Why? Because I have decided that my why was important to start, and it's important for me to see it all the way through. And so the next thing on my vision board was the gym. Check it out, guys. I was hitting the gym like crazy. Well, more like 2 times a week, but still like crazy. I was getting in the gym, getting my workout because I had a vision of me being buff, being strong. Like, let me show you the guy. Like, look at that guy. Look at him. Do you see him? Yeah, that was what I was going for. Yeah, okay. Lots of work needs to be done because clearly I'm skinny. Don't judge me. So I was investing my time, my energy in the gym, being faithful, being committed, getting the sweat, getting the workout, coming home, getting in the tub into Epsom salt because those muscles that you haven't used in a long time are now working and they hurt. Got it. And so then comes COVID again. COVID comes, shuts down the gym. Now I can't go to the gym. I can't do what I was creating the habit of doing. But I had to remember my why. The why was I wanted to live a healthier life. And I realized the more that I worked out, the better I felt. So all the stress, all the anxiety, all the things I was experiencing, I was able to manage them a little bit better when I worked out. And because that was working for me, I had to keep doing it. And so now I have decided to continue to do what I started to do. I now do my home workouts. Home workouts are legit. No equipment, no extra stuff. But all I'm telling you, when you are committed to that thing, you are committed to that thing and you will love the results. Wow. You feel me? Okay, so now listen. What are we going to talk about? The vision factor. What is your vision? What is the thing that you desire to do? What is the thing that you want to go after? There are 4 things. I may pull up my notes on my phone very quickly that I want you to consider as you consider vision. As you consider vision and going after the things that you desire, I want you to consider your core. What is the core? Okay, this is the core. You're in the middle. There's a circle around you, and the core is everything that represents you. What must represent you in this season is, of course, your vision, your purpose, accountability, and then actionables. Many times we start on a path or a journey and we don't have a clear vision. We don't have a clear picture of the future. And because we don't see it, we just be like, okay, yeah, no. But guess what? You don't have to see it to pursue it. Because you don't have to see it literally. You can see it in your mind. And if you can get it in your mind, you can make it happen. And then number 2, the purpose. Why do I want to achieve that thing? Why do I want to go after that thing? You have the power, you have the strength to make it happen. And number 3 was the accountability. Who around you, who in your circle has your ear? Who around you, who in your circle has the ability to speak something to you and you listen? Because I've discovered that many of us don't like accountability because we want to do it ourselves, but you don't have to do it by yourself. There are people that will walk alongside you, that will be your support system, but you got to find them. You got to get them and you got to invite them in. There are people who are in your space that should not be in your space because there's some people that are just so toxic. They're so nasty. They're so like, why are you here? Go, goodbye. You feel me? And so having those accountability people in your circle, in your space, it's like being in the gym. You know, when you have a spotter, like once it gets heavy, once it feels like you can't handle anymore, that spotter comes and says, come on, you can do it. Come on, you got it. And they will help you to get to that 2 more, 3 more, 4 more, whatever the goal is. Those accountability people in your circle and in your space are there to help push you to places that you didn't even see yourself. Have you ever had someone in your space or in your circle that saw something in you, and then when they said it and put it in your ear gate, you were just like, oh, wow, that's totally me. I can most definitely do that. That's you. Number 4 is actionables. Once you've got the vision, once you found the purpose and the plan, accountabilities, you got to get to work. It's time for us to get to work. But we're in COVID. We're locked down. We've got to get to work. But my kids are going crazy. My husband, my wife is going crazy. We've got to get to work. Stop creating excuses as of why you can't get to work. Actionables are things putting you into motion, getting you to your goal. Speaking of COVID, speaking of our current situation, can you still pursue after your goal in the situation that we're in right now? Absolutely. You absolutely can. You absolutely can pursue. You absolutely can go and manage your time. Watch this. My next question is, what are you doing with your time? What are you doing with your time? Are you just Netflixing and chilling all day? Are you just going to the refrigerator every 5 minutes? I know. Yeah, me too. What are you doing with your time? If you just take a moment and just put in your mind that if I maximize my time now, by the time Corona has gone bye-bye, I will come out of this quarantine better than when I got in. I'm going to say that again. Write that in the chat. Put it in the atmosphere. I'm going to come out of Corona. I'm coming out of COVID better than when I came in. Will, how are things going to be better? Businesses are shutting down. People are dying. Everything is going chaos. It's going. You are going to be okay. You are going to come out of this thing so much better than you were before. You are going to be stronger than you ever were before. Why? Because you've got focus, you got vision, you got purpose, you got accountability, and you are making stuff happen. Write in the comments right now, I am making it happen. Come on. Write in the comments, I'm making this happen. If you are going to see this 2 or 3 weeks from now, I want you to put into the atmosphere, I am going to make things happen. So watch this. How do I make things happen? I'm so glad you asked. You make things happen with focus. That's it. Focus. So many of us are distracted right now because we've lost sight of our focus. We are inundated with the news. We are inundated with social media. It's this moment is so precious that if you stay focused, you will be able to do so much more than you've ever done before. Check this out. So I've decided with my own self that I was going to read more books. Decided that I was going to take some crash courses. I decided that I was going to reach out to people who I haven't reached out until and reconnect and share love and share compassion with them. I've decided to take that initiative to do what I know that is going to be an advance forward. So with my last 5 minutes, and I got so much more to share, I've got so much more to share, but I'm running out of time. I want you to understand that you are the answer to someone's problem. You, yes, I'm pointing to you. You are the answer to someone's problem. And if you can just get into your mind that I'm going to be the answer, that I got to stay focused because I'm the answer. I got to put in hard work right now because I am the answer. Yes, you can take a day and chill and relax, but I got to stay focused because I am the answer to somebody's problem. And guess what? Somebody is going to pay you to be the answer to their problem. Someone is going to give you money, sow seed into your life because you are the answer to their problem. So that means as the answer, I got to continue to learn. I got to continue to develop. I got to continue to stretch myself to be my best self so that when someone comes, I can respond to them with love, respond to them with wisdom, respond to them with strategy, respond to them in a way that will be beneficial to all parties. So guys, I love talking. But I love sharing and I love adding value to people. And so I look forward to another opportunity to share with you guys, to be in you guys' space. You can follow me on all social media platforms at WLewisIV. If you type in WLewisIV, you can get my email. You probably get my address too. I don't know, but don't come over. I don't want. We're sheltered. Bring your mask. Just kidding. But thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Abram. Thank you to the whole community of One Day Virtual Stage. I really appreciate you guys' time. I hope that in this time of sharing that you've received something, that something was a takeaway for you, and that you'll be better after than you were before. All right. Thank you for your time. Talk to you guys soon. Peace out. Oh, I'm still here.
Man, that was awesome. You got so much energy, man. I love it. I love watching you.
You took me on a ride, man. That was like a roller coaster.
Absolutely. When you were talking about vision, it made me think of a lot of things, and I think that's a big thing. And I mean, this is kind of an East meets West thought. You know, I feel when we have an intention, when we have a goal, and we pay attention to that, or we focus on it, when those two coincide, that's where magic happens. When we put attention on our intentions, you know, that leaves the space for us to show up. And it actually reminded me, there's a quote, and I'll share it on the screen here. There's a quote by Gandhi, and it made me think of this quote. I'll share it with you guys. He said, "Let the villages of the future live in our imagination, so that we might one day come to live in them." Yeah. And it kind of reminded me of that. You know, one day is something that, you know, we always, I've said this before. We always, when we say the words, one day this will happen, one day that'll happen, one day I'll be happy, one day I'll be healthy, one day I'll be, and it's like we use the term to kind of kick the can down the road. We like to acting like we don't have any responsibility in one day. And when we say one day as it's something that it's out of my hands, one day this will happen, but what does that have to do with me is almost what we're saying. Yeah. And it's kind of connected. What you were sharing kind of reminded me of this quote by Gandhi. It's just because it's that vision that we have of the future that we live in and we speak with our words right now that makes one day happen. And one day is not going to happen just by accident. It's because we dream it. We have a vision for it. And I mean, and so you're preaching to the choir, because this vision is what sets in motion the future today.
Absolutely. And I didn't even get to share that we need your vision. The earth is waiting for the visionaries, the creators, the creatives to come forward and to bring what you have to the world. We don't realize how uniquely beautiful we are in our creative state. So we need you. Come on, we need you.
It's true. It's very true.
It's funny. I lived on Hawaii for quite a while and got
Nice.
to know quite a few of the kumus and kahunas. And one of the things that was shared with me about that was in the original Hawaiian culture, their day actually started at sunset the day before.
Wow.
And the reason why is because that is when they started to dream the day they were going to live tomorrow.
Mm.
Like that, it was a culture of 100% personal responsibility and 100% manifestation.
Wow.
And I feel like that's something that we can move into, and it does require vision. Like it requires us to hold that vision in ourselves very, very strongly. And you asked the question why a lot in that talk, and I have a slightly different question for you.
Uh-oh.
Not why are you doing this, but what is inspiring you to do this? What is drawing you to do this? What is that for you?
The what, the why, I think that it's important to have that foundation of what caused you to get started, what caused you to go on that path, what is the thing, what is the variable that was developed that got you on that journey. And so once you identify that, I think that I call it I put in the why, but it is the what. It is the what is that thing that will be the driving force to push you towards the goal, to push you towards the right path. And so I think that understanding that foundational piece, as you continue to build onto that foundation, once you get center state, once you get center state, you can look back down and say, okay, let me keep going. When you get weary and you get tired and you don't want to do it anymore, you can look down and say, okay, that's okay, let's keep going. And so I think that's very important to identify before you're able to move forward.
And what is that for you? Like, what is that center state for you?
What is that center state? Let's ask that question in a different way. Give it to me one more time. Let me think about that.
So, this may be a bit. Actually, no, that's fine. It's there's nothing too personal here. So I'm just going to throw this out there. So a while back, I was standing in the shower and I was kind of depressed and not really feeling inspired or not really feeling myself at all. And there was this kind of vision that I had, and the question that came with the vision is, what am I? What am I? And I'm not my name. That's just something I have. I'm not my thoughts. That's just something that happens in my mind. I'm not my beliefs. That's just something I've acquired in my time here on this earth. And I just kept kind of drilling down to what I am. What am I? What am I? What am I? And the vision that came was just this column of light, just this calm, centered, peaceful column of light. And when that came and I allowed myself to let go of everything else that had come into my life that I have obtained in this world, there was just this experience of just serenity, of just beautiful calmness. And anytime I get to that place of like, why am I even doing this? Like, what's going on here? Dropping back into that place of centeredness and calmness offers perspective. And then I can feel that intuition, that inspiration, whatever it is that is calling me to go forward. And I can go, oh yeah, that feels really good right now. I want that.
Absolutely.
I want that.
Absolutely. I think it's very important to what I often say is protecting your peace. Mm-hmm. Protecting your peace, having a space where peace dwells, and protect that space. That space. For me, it's most times my car when I was driving a lot, able to drive a lot. I wouldn't listen to music. I wouldn't have anything going, but I would just allow that to be my peace space. My bedroom is another one of those peace spaces. And so being around water, oh my gosh, I love being around water. I love being at the beach before anybody gets there, or being there after everybody's gone. I love the sound of water. I go to sleep to it on my phone. That's me. But protecting your peace is so important as you develop, as you go through life, as you do anything, because out there is chaos for sure. but you can control the peace within.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Inner peace. Like there's internal and external peace, and kind of connecting the dots with a lot what everyone's been sharing. But in my experience, it's kind of the who. For me, it's the who and the why are kind of interconnected. When I discovered who I'm not, like Matthew was saying, I have thoughts, but I'm not my thoughts. Thoughts come in my brain, but that's not me. I have emotions, I have feelings, but that's not who I am. I have bodily functions. I have a body, but that's not who I am. And so when I distinguish who I'm not, that kind of keeps on, going deeper. Then if I'm not that, then who am I? And then keep digging deeper, knowing who I'm not allows me to see who I am.
Yeah.
And the why just presents itself. It's like, well, that's why I do what I do without even trying. This is what I can't help it, because this is what moves and inspires me. This is what I see empowers the world. Yeah. And I guess what I've discovered in my experience is when I know who I am and I know why I am, the what and the how work themselves out. Like I don't even have to plan. It's just like, well, I'm doing this because I know who I am. I'm not trying to look good. I'm not trying to avoid looking bad. I'm not trying to make people like me. I know why I'm here, and I don't have to question it. And even if I died tomorrow, and it's like, and that power I've never had from the space of poor me. I need to fix this. I need to do that. It's like, life is not survival. It's back to what Terrilynn was saying. It's about living by choice and not by chance. And standing in that spot, in that space, in that paradigm, life is beautiful. I can see beauty in everything. And that experience of internal peace is always there, and it's always accessible. And it's beautiful. I appreciate you sharing and connecting these dots for us. And your energy is so contagious. And I hope you come back and join us again and share some more.
Absolutely. I would love to. This has been an amazing opportunity. Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Will. Really appreciate you joining us. And we also appreciate the rest of our guests, Terrilynn and Rich. And to all you who are joining us, thank you. You guys are beautiful. You have so much to contribute, whether you know it or not. And we hope you come to share it with us. If you want to, this is not possible without your support. And, please interact with us. Send us a comment. Check out our website if you'd like to know more about what the One Day Movement is up to. We're just getting started. There's so many beautiful people, so many amazing things going on in this world, and that's what we are focusing on. We're not focusing on the fear. We're not focusing on the uncertainty. We are focusing on what's already happening despite the uncertainty. And thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you to our guests, and we love you all. We look forward to connecting with you tomorrow. We'll see you at the same time, and have a wonderful rest of your day. But until then, one day is today. Thank you all.